WWE continued the road to Night Champions on Monday, rolling into Baltimore for the latest episode of Raw, headlined by the latest in the King and Queen of the Ring tournaments and the latest appearance from Roman Reigns. There was a lot going on in this show, so without further ado, let's get straight into things. And we started things off with the Bloodline kicking off Raw, with Roman Reigns taking to the squared circle to prop up his cousins, the Usos, before turning his attention to Jacob Fatu. He told the Samoan Werewolf that they were having to bring the band together in the face of whispers from the rest of the locker room so that the Bloodline can continue dominating the industry as it always has, presenting Fatu with an Uda Fala and officially welcoming him to the Bloodline. When comedian Eric Andre touched the ceremonial item, Fatu snapped, attacking him and setting up for a top rope splash. At first, Reigns stopped the big man but gave him the sign to execute the move, and again, the facial expressions from Reigns here were golden. The sly smirk on his face as he realised he had the power to control an unstoppable force, someone who can benefit the family, sure, but more importantly, his self-centered goals are extraordinary, and the reason the OTC has been able to stay relevant at the top of the industry for 6 years and counting. As we then moved on to Io Sky versus Raquel Rodriguez and the Queen of the Ring, Raquel was improved by leaps and bounds in the ring, and a win would have been a nice change and potentially set up a Judgment Day finale against Liv Morgan. With that said, it was obvious to go to Sky winning this one and cashing her ticket to Night Champions is the right call. The genius of the Sky should be in the title hunt, and winning the Queen of the Ring gets her there. Arguably the best wrestler in the world. She's great at the women's division because her presence always guarantees a strong match. That was certainly the case Monday night as she bumped herself with Rodriguez and then overcame the onslaught and got the win that could earn her the crown. 6 out of 10 from me. As we then moved on to Chad Gable returning to action on Raw and overcame Rusev and the interference of All Ego Ethan Page to secure a momentum building victory. A good match, albeit hampered by the break. It showcased that Gable was an excellent come from behind babyface, as evidenced by the way he fought back and ultimately got the submission win with his trademark ankle lock. After the bell, Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee made to say furthering the storyline that the Luchador community is embracing and appreciating Gable despite his transgressions during his run as the original El Grande Americano. So yeah, I'm going at 6 out of 10. As we then moved on to LA Knight's crusade against the Bloodline, and his restoration of power lately wrote its latest chapter Monday as its hometown hero returned to Baltimore and wasted little time calling out the Bloodline. Jimmy Uso answered first and tried hard to get him to rethink his position. This brought out Jay, who eventually came rolling out of the ring with the megastar in a brawl. It was ultimately Jacob Fatu arriving on the scene, cutting Knight down with a Tongan Death Trip that put an end to the vicious babyface's night. This was a great segment because it lent the credibility to the idea that Samoan Werewolf could very well end up usurping power from the twins by winning the good graces of Roman Reigns, something Jimmy and Jay will not be able to do if they continue to fail to get the job done against the OTC's enemies. Then Fatu called the Usos way and said that he'd done the only things the OTC way, only further intensifies the power struggle that may be underway. So yeah, that because it makes sense. We then got Charlotte Flair versus Roxanne Perez, and what should have been a dream match featuring two women of different eras, but instead thrown together a matchup used to help promote Charlotte Flair's Queen of the Ring semi-final against Liv Morgan on SmackDown. Battling the Prodigy, and despite the lacklustre creative that accompanied it, the match was still good for the time it had. Perez never looked out of place, and Flair did a good job selling her injured hand, and the result was a fun match that ended with a Queen's submission victory. That Morgan tasked Perez with weakening Flair, only to have the former tag champion lose. One has to assume it will case as the latest kind of case of tension in the Judgment Day. Solid match, but yeah, I think they maybe could have considered a long-term storyline more. So yeah, 6 out of 10. But we then moved on to Javon Evans, turned down the return of Logan Paul's offer for the young OG to join the division. The King of the Ring semi-finalist challenged World Tag Team Champion Austin Theory to the match. Before Evans could put the former Chosen One away with the OG cutter, Braun came out of nowhere with another long line of rib-shattering spears. The Street Profits made a save, setting up a tag title match with the heels next week in London. A solid but unspectacular match. It featured perfectly acceptable wrestling without ever really going anywhere with it. We got the Street Profits title rematch next week, and Evans had a shot at the King of the Ring finals, but nothing is advanced here, especially since the latter did not accept Paul's offer. It's if and how he stays away from joining the division should be interesting. As for now, the perfectly acceptable wrestling and nothing inoffensive earns this one a 5 out of 10 for me. The Ruler is heading to the final of the King of the Ring tournament as he defeated Dominic Mysterio, and this was pretty predictable, wasn't it? He squashed him in the main event of Raw, overcoming incessant interference from JD. The match is exactly what it needs to be, with the big man dominating action, putting away the smaller, more cowardly heel in short order. But it does leave the question, where does it leave Dom? The same Mysterio defeated Cena at Survivor Series and wrapped up 2025 as most over. Now he feels like an afterthought of sorts, with no clear direction. As for Femi, his direction is clear: a date with either Javon Evans or Jey Uso, and more importantly, importantly, one last showdown where Brock Lesnar alluded to in the closing moments of the show. A good segment, not great, that highlighted Femi and introduced the possibility of a third Brock bout, which I think everyone could see coming. So yeah, I'm going with 5 out of 10. And overall, Raw this week gets a 5 out of 10 from me. Yeah, I don't know. I felt like it was an okay Raw. There were some decent matches on there. Some matches that maybe weren't quite as good. I just didn't really feel like we got a huge amount of storyline development on this show. Kind of more I want more less than I was hoping for. I kind of wanted more. So yeah, that's my overriding thoughts coming out of the show. So I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10.
Guys, that's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Follow us on our socials. Link in the description below for daily wrestling news, meme and content. Subscribe to our other channels on screen right now. That'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.